This is The Power Shift on Underground Radio.
Welcome to the Culture Plug, and a very warm welcome to our guests today, Warwick and Zipatele. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you guys are enjoying your time here on Underground Radio, more specifically, the Culture Plug. So, jumping straight into it, we have a few questions for you guys. Are you guys nervous? You scared? You happy? You sad? How you guys feeling?
Oh, a bit nervous. Nerves always be
We-
part of it. Yeah.
We used to having conversations about energy, but not normally on the radio
Not
station.
on the radio, in the boardroom.
Well, there's a first time for everything, and you've chosen the right place to be. So, just a few questions for you. Tell us a little about yourself, your roles, and the work you do within your environment.
Sure. So I'll introduce our company first. We work for a company called Engage Energy and Engineering. So we've got colleagues that aren't with us today. We drew the straw to be here with you, Rhys. I'm Warwick Hayes. I'm a process engineer by training, and I'm the technical lead.
My name is Zipatele Kamane. I'm a process engineer by training, but I'm also project management lead within the projects which we do for the energy sector.
Yes, and Nax also, or Zipatele also has a dual role. He's involved at the Durban University of Technology as a lecturer.
Yes, where I teach in chemical engineering modules, and also I'm involved in energy research.
Oh, wow. So we're really in the presence of some big people here.
Some high intellectuals. So when people hear the term environmental conservation, they usually think of wildlife and protected areas, but how does energy come into play with that?
Sure. So I think we can learn a lot from wildlife and nature, because if you think about it, energy is part of everything. So even in nature, you've got the energy source being primarily the sun, and then it's growing grass, which animals are eating, and then animals are eating each other, etc., etc. So what you can learn from nature is that energy is generally used quite efficiently. If you look in wildlife, there's not a lot of waste. So really what we focus on at Engage is helping industry use their energy efficiently, and in a less wasteful way.
Okay.
So that, yeah, and ultimately the goal is to minimize the impact on the environment.
Yes, and then through the application of techniques like decarbonization, and we are promoting the good use of energy, but also making sure that we reduce the carbon footprint in the environment to support what is just said, that we need to have trees, we need to have oxygen, we don't want to have a lot of carbon dioxide. But already you can see there's a lot of deforestation where the forests are removed to remove carbon dioxide. And if our factories continue to produce a lot of carbon dioxide, our processes, there's nothing to take away the carbon from the environment. So decarbonization is part of good manufacturing strategy to make sure that we conserve the environment.
And it's not just energy, it's also there's the energy water nexus.
Yes, it's energy water nexus as well, because what we also realize is that energy and water, they go together. They are both scarce. They are scarce commodities, but they're very useful for the betterment of human life. And we want to the new technologies, we must create new process plant which recycle, reuse water to prevent the effluent to go into the ocean.
Yeah, we're actually busy with a big project here in KZN at the moment, recycling water.
That's very interesting, because that actually leads into my next question. In terms of renewable energy, people often think about solar energy, but what are the other types of renewable energy sources that you would think would do well in KZN, or would be something that would be beneficial for KZN?
I think a hot topic at the moment in KZN is gas, which isn't necessarily viewed as a renewable energy. But there's a big need for a solution for industry that requires the energy that is provided by gas and heat. So there's and in Richards Bay, they're looking at putting an LNG import terminal, and Eskom's considering a massive gas to power plant there, and other gas to power plants. The eThekwini municipality is looking at gas to power. And gas to power is perhaps not fully renewable, but it's seen as a transition fuel towards that future, away from South Africa's historical use of coal to generate electricity.
Yeah, there are also other forms of renewable energy. You've mentioned solar, wind tunnels are part of it, but in KZN we're also blessed with a huge coastline. So there's a research that's going on now. How do we use tidal wave to create the energy? Unlike solar, where you have a nighttime where you don't have the sun rays, but the tides 24/7 are just moving. In fact, at night, in the afternoon, towards the afternoon, overnight until the morning, that's where they become very high. So it means we can produce this renewable energy from the resource which is natural, tidal wave. So there's a strong research which is going on there, and we hope it will be commercialized at some stage soon.
So the beach is not just for swimming, also for
Yes, it's to provide life, sustainable life. Yeah.
definitely. So we need to treasure our beaches. And we already have on the WhatsApp line, we have some questions rolling in. So let's hear what our listeners had to say.
Hey guys, great show. I just want to ask your guest, right? Do you think solar power should be subsidized for low and middle income households?
Yes, I think there's a strong link between poverty and low cost energy. And there's been studies on this where if low cost energy is made available, that it incentivizes economic development. So maybe not even just for households, maybe even for small businesses, and they're starting to manufacture something. Having that available, I think, can be hugely beneficial for the province and the country.
For the country, yes. In fact, there are some companies which have started those type of projects where they subsidize the solar panels to low income communities, and they get clean energy. But as my colleague was saying, start to stimulate some economic activity as well, because they can start to develop small businesses for themselves using clean energy, which also we are a signatory to sustainable development goals, and SDG goals number 7, access to clean and renewable energy becomes very important. But it will also reduce a disease burden because it's clean, especially in impoverished communities.
Yeah, and possibly even some health benefits.
Health benefits, yes.
Linked to that, instead of maybe burning wood or something
all the time
for heating. There's maybe other ways of cooking, for example.
Yes.
And also where there's not traditional, how we think of electricity as a wire coming, they're being accessed and connected to the grid. Throughout Africa, there's a lot of systems that are decentralized. So they don't have access to a big electricity grid like we're fortunate here to have. And their solar solutions have been very beneficial because you can install something there in that community which serves that community.
So it just sounds like an ultimate win-win situation.
Yes,
yeah, I think that's a win-win. And there's been wonderful programs like the Power Africa program that's made big impacts throughout Africa. Yeah.
When it comes to installing solars, what scams are out there and how do we avoid getting scammed?
So thankfully, I'm not too familiar with what's. I haven't been scammed. I haven't had a personal experience like that. But our clients do hire us to do technical procurement on their behalf. And part of that process that we follow in doing our due diligence is reference sites.
Yes.
Just recently, you had the experience of we've got a client that's installing solar panels on their rooftop. And we had to assess 4 different companies
to make sure that they can deliver the power which they can deliver,
and that they've done it successfully at other companies.
Elsewhere. So our role is to do that feasibility study to protect the clients from being scammed, because we are the technical specialists and we are also specializing in energy. So that's how so far we can say we prevent or we strive avoid people getting scammed.
Yeah. So I would say maybe like hire an advisor that knows what they're doing,
Yes,
or ask a friend that knows what they're doing, or ask other people who they've worked for. Yeah.
Oh. So it really goes to show that it's not just something you can find. It takes a lot of time and work that you guys put in.
Yes, for sure.
And how can renewable energy benefit communities beyond simply just keeping the lights on?
I think we touched on a little bit of that idea of the link between energy and development. So as soon as there's access to energy, and you touched on the SDG goal, it incentivizes other activities. Maybe now you're incentivizing manufacturing or whatever it might be, a small bakery or a community bakery. All these things can start now happening. And that's good. And then it snowballs, one thing leads to another.
So basically, renewable energy, it is the promoter of development. It's not anti-development. Probably so far we have been used to big scale industries, but we see the transition now of getting decentralized industries, small SMEs. Yes.
And then I also think some of the government procurement programs that have been, then you're talking really big projects, they've built into them a requirement for the companies executing those projects to do community development and sustainable economic development projects. So then those projects on themselves generate,
as part of the rollout,
generates a way of serving the community.
Wow. It's really, 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 really good to hear this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the space.
Yeah.
It's been such an insightful and eye-opening conversation. Thank you so much, Warwick and Zipatele, for joining us.
Yes.
I know I've learned a lot. Rhys has learned a lot throughout this entire feature, the power shift. We've been empowered with so much information that we didn't have before. And I know that everyone listening feels the same as well. So thank you so much to you guys, the Engage Energy team, for coming and doing this interview with us. It was great to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much like Keri said, we've learned a lot and it's very insightful. And it's also nice to hear that it helps the community grow, and it's not like you mentioned earlier about burning wood. It's not about you not using that or using more ways that benefit not only us but you benefit the ocean, that no one is getting harmed during this process. So that's really nice to hear. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Rhys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.